you someone looking to enter into investment banking, but your MBA, the working hours in investment banking, the pressure of the industry is keeping you away? In this video, we are going to cover 6 myths related to investment banking industry, which keep people away from entering into investment banking, and understand the truth behind those myths. So let's get onto the screen and understand each myth in detail. So as we can see on the screen, these are some of the basic ideologies that people have about investment banking as an industry. Like, you need an IIM degree to enter into industry, you need to work 20 hours a day, you become rich overnight. These are some of the common thought processes that people have related to investment banking as an industry, but these are not the truth. Let's understand the first myth, that is only tier 1 college students get into investment banking. This is one of the most common and the biggest myth that people have in their mind, that if you are not a tier 1 college graduate, then it is not possible to enter into investment banking. But this is not the truth. The reality is that your skills matter much more than just your degree, right? Because investment banking industry is a heavy skill based industry where you are working on financial modeling, building presentations, doing industry research. If you have already worked on these kind of projects, it is much preferred than just the college degree that people have. So as there are various types of investment banking firm, like boutiques, mid market, then there are elite, then there are bulge bracket. So in these categories of various types of investment banking firms, boutique firms are the ones who prefer candidates who are skill based. So if you are not from tier 1 college, these are the firms that you can target when you are starting to enter into investment banking as an industry. Here we are not trying to highlight that having a tier 1 college degree is bad, but if you are trying to enter into investment banking without it, that is also possible. Here the thing is that it depends on your goal. Where are you wanting to start your investment banking journey? So if you are targeting for bulge bracket, having an MBA from tier 1 college definitely helps, because this kind of investment banking companies go for campus placements only to tier 1 colleges. So for me, I have been working in the core finance industry for 3 plus years now, and initially I started with equity research and wealth management, and then transitioned into investment banking by developing core skill set that are needed for the industry. So I also didn't have a top degree either, but still made it into investment banking. Moving on to myth number 2, that is you work 100 hours a week non-stop. This is also one of the most common, that investment bankers work 80-90 hours every week. That is not true, because there are cycles of the deals that are happening in the market. If the market is going well, there could be lot of deals coming into the company, but if the market is weak, the deals could be lower in number. So at this period of time, the working hours are quite lenient, and you will not be working lot of hours like 80 to 90 every week. But during deal periods, these working hours do definitely increase, because you are working on many clients at a single period of time. So for me, like, while I was working, it was maintaining 4 to 5 clients at a single period of time. That is, you are working on their models, you are working on creating their pitch decks, you are pitching them to investors, and having a lot of meetings. So this definitely takes a lot of time of yours while you are working simultaneously on different clients. So reality of this myth is that workload varies depending on the cycles, as we saw over here. Then the crunch periods are during deals, that there will be more number of deals that you get during a trending market, and there will be low number of deals during a non-trending market. Some weeks are lighter, and it's not always brutal. And among various type of banks, boutique investment bank have a better work life balance, because these boutique firms deal in small size of deals where the workload is not that much, compared to bulge bracket where the size of deal is very big and the stakes over there are very high. So working in boutique investment bank will give you same exposure to the industry, but the workload will be quite less. So as we mentioned here, that definitely investment banking is intense, but it is with good systems. So whenever you are working on the deal, there are good systems that are already set in place, because you have already worked on previous deals. You know what step to be taken next. So initially when a client comes in, there are a lot of meetings, and there is deliverables which are worked upon, like creating a financial model, or working on presentation, or creating industry research. So these are step processes that are already set in the industry, so that you know what step to be taken next, and it is manageable. So it won't be like that you are given a task which you are unaware about how to work on it and how not. You will be having all the previous resources to take reference from, and based on that you need to work on this assignment. Moving on to myth number 3, that is only toppers and maths wizard are surviving in this industry. So this myth comes because people think that investment banking is all about numbers and just working on valuation and pitching about numbers. But the reality is your communication, your curiosity, and the structure that you follow related to the work that you are doing matters much more than just having knowledge about maths and numbers. You are not working on derivatives integration over here. The thing that you should understand is more on the financial side. How is money working for a company? What is the business doing? So over here you should have a business sense and not math that is needed to work in this industry. Why business sense? Because as said earlier, you are working on a lot of financials, which will include the company's revenue, the expenses, the balance sheet, cash flow statement, and that is not all about math. It is about understanding of businesses. So as we discussed that you as an investment banker will be working on lot of financial things, so your communication about the financial number becomes very important, and you should be able to explain those things to a non-finance person who is from different industry. He is your client. So as discussed earlier, investment banking is very structured industry. You have set SOPs that you follow whenever you are working on particular deal. The deliverables would definitely differ based on client to client, but how you work on them is always structured. So to excel in this industry, you did not need to be perfect. You just need to be sharp on what is happening. You should be very quick in taking actions. And the main thing is that you will definitely grow on the job. It is not necessary that you should know everything when you are just starting out. You are definitely going to learn once you enter this industry, but the basic skill set is expected from you. And it is not definitely needed that you should be very good in math or you should be topper from somewhere to start into this industry. The main thing is that you should be active, you should be sharp, and your communication and structure should be very good. So as mentioned, if you are willing to learn fast, you are good enough for this industry. And to prove this, you can definitely show that you have worked on various projects related to the industry, and during your interview you will be able to stand out. Myth number 4, that is you will get rich instantly. So a lot of people run after investment banking to get rich quickly because this industry pays well. The reality is that the definition of rich will depend on person to person. It could be income and it could be wealth for someone. So for income, definitely this industry pays really well. If you just are looking after making income, that is earning a monthly salary and bearing your expenses, then definitely this industry will help you. Because at an analyst level, if you are working in a good firm, you could be paid around 10 to 12 lakhs from the start. But according to me, you should not target only income while you are building your career, and your main aim should be to build wealth, because that will help you over a long period of time. And when you think about wealth, wealth grows especially after the post associate levels, because this is when you become a decision maker and also take part in business development for investment banking, where the main income lies in the industry, where you are earning bonuses which are more than 100% of your CTC as well. So that is the main wealth creation portion of this industry, where you are working on getting clients for the company, earning business development revenue from that. Up to analyst or associate level, you are working on making income out of this. But as you get promoted to hierarchies like AVP or VP, you are working on building wealth. You are now creating a higher impact to businesses, because you are dealing directly with the CXO level people and helping them make decisions related to big problems. As you help larger businesses solve their larger problems, you accumulate good amount of wealth, and that is where the real money grows. The next point is very important. If you are just chasing money, then you will burn out very early, and that is very true. If you are not a long term player in this industry, you will get exhausted very fast. And this is what I've also seen in the industry. Like, people are working really hard initially because they are chasing after money, but once they start earning good amount of money, their motivation falls, because they were chasing money in the first phase. The motivation to work has now diminished. So my recommendation is that you should chase after long term career growth and creating an impact rather than falling behind money. So if you enter for money, you won't stay long. So that is the truth. Coming to fifth myth, that is you can't break without connection. So this myth tells us that if you don't have any connection in the industry, you are not able to enter into it. And that is not 100% true, because you can definitely build your network over a period of time. If you are using LinkedIn or some other platform to build network, then you can definitely get connections. The reality is that cold emailing, LinkedIn, and working on projects will definitely give you access to this industry. So what you can do, if you don't have connections as of now, you can start reaching out through cold emails to professionals who are already working in this industry. Through LinkedIn, you can reach out to them and ask for informational interviews, where you are reaching out to them and asking about their day-to-day responsibility, asking them if they could help you understand about the industry and what are the insights of this. So that is the first step of building connection with people. Next point is that many boutique firms hire via referral. So you could reach out to people who are working in boutique firms and get informational interviews from them, and definitely going ahead you could ask if they could provide you any referral into the company. So the next point is that mentors help but outreach wins. So here we are trying to highlight that if you have mentors, they can be definitely helpful to you to start into this industry. But this industry is all about numbers, so you have to be very active in reaching out to people and then building relationship with them, which is eventually going to help you start into this industry. So you build your network by showing your work. So that is the thing. If you showcase that you are trustworthy, if you try to build confidence in those people related to you, they are definitely going to prefer you or provide you some help from their side. And finally, myth number 6, investment banking is all about valuation and DCF. So this is also one of the biggest myth in the industry, because lot of people are trying to sell courses related to valuation, related to DCF, saying that doing this will help you enter into investment banking. But that is not the truth. Investment banking definitely has valuation as one of its service line, but other than that, there are a lot of things that an investment banker does, like storytelling, like creating presentation, which could include pitch deck, then client handling, and lot of soft skills are also needed. Other than this, you need to work on research, taking calls, taking notes, which is much more than just working on valuation. Valuation can be almost 30 to 40% of your work a lot of time as an analyst, but as you go up the ladder, you are more inclined towards storytelling, building relationship with client, getting business for your company. So as an analyst, you are working on valuation plus pitch decks, which will almost take around 30 to 40%. You are attending calls, you are attending meetings, and a lot of things other than just working on valuation. So it's a mix of finance, storytelling, and people skills that investment banking is all about. So if you are genuinely interested into investment banking, we would suggest that don't just do financial modeling or valuation related course. First, understand about the industry, what the work is done, how do investment banking companies get leads, how do they work on the deals, and what are the type of deals that the company is working on, rather than just focusing your attention on valuation. Look at the bigger picture of the game, and then it will be very easier to you to crack your interviews. So this way we cover all the 6 myths of investment banking industry, and now I am sure that these myths won't scare you, and the facts that we discuss will definitely guide you in building your career in investment bank. So that is it for today's video. Hope this video would add value to your career. If you are looking to enter into investment banking using a step-by-step process, check this video here where we have discussed a detailed 3-step process to start into investment banking. So see you in the next one. Until then, this is Karan Damania taking your leave.